In 1946, my grandfather bought 245 acres way out in the country because he was a farmer and he wanted to raise crops. On the south side of the acreage was a hill that was full of mature oak trees. So in that stand of oak trees was a log cabin that used to be a hunting cabin, and my grandfather and my grandmother and her mother and father all moved into the hunting cabin, and he began farming the land. My brother, Kevin, started KJM Equestrian in 1971. And one of the things that he began to give back to the community was therapy rides for children with disabilities. And that's something that he did free of charge. Kevin unfortunately passed away of pancreatic cancer about 5 years ago. And I took over both KJM and the tradition of doing therapy rides that we did here on this property until just very, very recently.
We've been at this project for 2.5 years now, and I don't think I fully realized how difficult it would be to find facilities for the school. We looked at buildings all over Tulsa County, and most of the buildings weren't large enough to suit our program, and those that were located on a sea of concrete, and that's not what we had dreamed for the school. We dreamed of green space and trees and places where children could see beautiful things every single day.
Facilities matter in classical education because it's really a part of its curriculum. I define classical education as prolonged exposure to obviously the good, true, and beautiful, but in a different way, I define it as prolonged exposure to the great books and great art. So not only in maybe sculpture or canvas, but also in architecture, in design of the building, in flow. You want to be able to walk through the building with parents, with students, with teachers, and be able to embody what it is we're learning through the curriculum in the actual facility itself.
Well, for us, it's about the future of our kids and our generation, and thinking about, you know, what are they going to shape the world into when they grow into it, right? And when I think about the school education system now, so much of it is about training kids for answers. And I don't want them just to learn how to answer questions. I want them to learn how to reason and think critically and deeply and think about transcendent values and think bigger than just answering a question to get on a right answer on a test.
In order to make a project like this work, you have to have a capital investment from the community. We are a small group of people and we cannot do this project on our own. We really need the community to stand behind it, both with an initial investment but also with long-term support from the community.
My family became interested in Hillsdale College back in the 1980s when my father read an issue of Imprimis, and he became, just immediately they felt a connection with the college. They were very impressed. They enjoyed learning about all the values that Hillsdale teaches. The students come away with a real education and they build moral character, and you can see it when you're in the college. It's a very unique, special place, and it didn't take long for my father to become a trustee of Hillsdale College, and I was honored and blessed just a few years ago to be able to become a trustee for Hillsdale. So to know Hillsdale is to love Hillsdale.
My family's had this property for over 75 years. This property is a part of me. It's a part of my family. And we had to struggle with the decision. But because of the good that will come out of the sale of this property, we're at peace with it. And we hope that you'll be, and feel that you'll be, a very good steward of the property.
You know, when you drive up to a building or you walk in the front doors of a building, it says a lot about who that institution or organization is. And so it was important to us that people get a sense of who we are as Tulsa Classical Academy. It represents our pedagogy. We want it to represent something that's beautiful, because that's what we're teaching the children to appreciate, what is truly good, true, and beautiful.
Regardless of the changing economic circumstances that we saw during this project, we had to just keep moving forward because we have incredible families who have been so supportive and have been so patient with us over a 2-year period to get the school off the ground. And so we needed to keep moving forward. And that meant some very serious things: buying property, closing bond financing on the property and the building, and building a building. But we're going to have some philanthropic support in order to make this a reality. Specifically, we're starting a $3.5 million capital campaign, and we're fortunate that the William S. and Ann Atherton Foundation has stepped forward with a lead gift, and we would invite you, please, to join them.
We feel blessed to be able to be a part of Tulsa Classical Academy and being able to provide this charitable donation lead gift is something that is very meaningful and very important to be able to sponsor this on a local level and have something so great coming right here to Tulsa. We'd like to offer an invitation for everyone to come and join in, and this is an exciting time to get to see some groundbreaking and buildings going up and kids coming to school in the fall of '23. It's going to be a great thing for Tulsa.